Cool. Hi, my name is Aaron, but you all know me as ADM. The reason I'm making this video is to just give an update on where I am in my life, whether or not I plan on continuing the ADM project or music or art as a whole. I want to talk about why I've been in a hiatus for years at this point, why I've disappeared off of the face of the internet, why I'm not on social media, why you don't see me in Discord channels like I used to. I just want to talk about everything and give an update on all of this. So, really, the reason I have been away for so long and kind of been in this hiatus is due to the fact that I grew up during this time. I started the ADM project when I was 17. I was still a kid. I didn't have rent or big bills to pay and keep track of and stay on top of and all that. I wasn't an adult. I didn't have adult responsibilities that weighed on my shoulders at the time. But it was during this time where I started the ADM project and was working at it and making music and releasing it and building my craft up, building my brand. It was during this time where I started to make the transition from childhood to adulthood. And that proved to not be very easy for me. I was used to having the free time and energy to put into my craft. I had part-time jobs during this time, which were very light and still permitted me a lot of time and energy for my music. But it wasn't until I got married, moved out of my parents' house, and lived on my own and began to establish myself as an individual, as an adult in the real world. That's when the weight really hit me. I started to work full time in order to earn my living. I had to work a full time job, which took more time, obviously. It's full time compared to part time. But ever since I entered the full time working world, it's really been something that I've had to maintain and learn to live with. And that has been a challenge for me. It's been a great challenge for me to learn time management within my personal life, learning to balance things like my work, my marriage, my friendships, my family, my relationships, my hobbies, my music, everything that I love, everything that I do in life. It's been a really hard time for me to learn how to balance it all. And that has affected my music. Or I should say, it has affected how I put my music out, what I do with my music. And I think the world has changed a lot since I was 17. I mean, I'm 25 now. A lot has happened in that time. The world is always changing. Everything is always changing. The music world is always changing. It's very different than what it once was. In the music world of today, it doesn't really matter how much talent you have, how much of yourself you pour into your craft, how good the quality of your output is. None of that really matters in today's world. What matters in today's world is status, followers on social media, how much engagement your posts get on social media, and all of this stuff, how polished your persona is that you project out to the world through the means of social media. That is kind of the center of gravity in the game these days. And it's not just in music, it's in every industry. That's just the direction the world is moving, is this polishing your mask, polishing your persona, getting it to look as pretty and nice and neat and as polished as possible and putting it out. And that's you. That's what you identify as. That's who you are in the eyes of the world. And that's why I've stayed away from social media. That's why I haven't posted anything, is because of this direction that it's all moving in. It's all moving in a very negative trajectory, and we all know it, we all feel it. And I don't want to support that. I don't want to partake in that. And it's hard because that's like the world is set up to where if you are to run a business or be a music producer or an artist of any kind, that all takes place on social media. And I think social media is one of the biggest reasons the world is the way that it is. Obviously, there are more underlying causes, but I think we can all agree that social media is a net negative for humanity. And I just want to play my cards very carefully and cautiously. And that's another thing too, is that why I've taken so long to even come to a point where I'm making this video is because I don't want to start building anything which I know I can't finish or don't want to finish. I've been waiting for the right moment to come. And that's something that the right time never really does come until it does, until it just happens, which you have to make it happen. And that's what I'm doing here is I'm making it happen. So becoming an adult, learning about the real world, how the world works, it's not been a fun process for me as an artist, as someone who is naturally childlike. I don't want to grow up. I never did. Well, I mean, every kid wants to grow up when they're a kid, but then when they start to enter into adulthood, they're like, no, I can turn back, go the other way. But yeah, since I've entered the adult world of working a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, my time and energy has been so limited compared to what I used to have back when I was a child, and I have yet to learn how to adapt, which has resulted in this hiatus of mine. And I want to clarify that during this whole time, I've been making music. I've been working hard at a lot of music projects, but it's just been the fear of putting myself out there into the world because I know how hostile the world can be, how dark the world is. It's been hard for me to learn where I fit in with the world in the way that it is. And I've frankly been afraid. I've been afraid of putting myself out because I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid of what people will think of me. And I don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. I think this is something that all of us can relate to in levels and levels. But the main thing is I wanted to really get myself together. I really wanted to find myself as an individual in the context of the real world before I put myself out there again. I feel like I've come to that point where I have found myself to a degree. You know, life is an infinite process in which we come to know ourselves at deeper and deeper levels. There's never a point where you have it all figured out. Like you're always figuring it out. And that's one thing I'm learning is that you never get to a point where you are an adult and you have it all figured out. Like you never do. That's an illusion. But you strive to become the best version of yourself. That's what matters. So with this whole thing with like social media taking over the world and the music business, like you having to almost focus your energy on this persona that you put out into the world through social media, it's almost like that takes priority over the music itself, the art itself. And that's one thing that has turned me away from the world, the music world, putting out music, putting out my art. That's been a big thing that has turned me away, that has not been appealing to me. Like I want to stay away from that. I want to just hermit away in my own little world and make my music just for me. And but where's the connection? Where's the purpose of it? If I'm not sharing what I'm doing, if I'm not sharing myself, well, then what's the point? I mean, obviously you don't have to put yourself out there in order to be yourself, and you don't have to put your music out in order for your music to be valuable. That's not what I'm saying, but there's something missing. I have no one to share this with if I'm just keeping it all to myself. I have no one to appreciate the beauty that I see in life, which is what my music is inspired by. I'm inspired by life and by love and by all the beauty that life has to offer, despite the darkness. But what good is that expression if I have no one to share it with? And so that's why I am putting myself out there again as the real me, the new and improved version of me who's not an angsty teen, who's just an angsty 25-year-old. A little less angsty, but still feel like a child. So moving forward, this video marks the end of this long hiatus that I've been in. And I think this video marks a new start for ADM, for my music, for my art. This is my main art project. This is my main hobby, passion. This is what I love to do. And before, like, ADM was very narrow in what it did, what I did as ADM, what I put out into the world as ADM. It was all just dance music, house and techno. And it was like, that was it. And that's all that I did. But I want this video to be the start of a new chapter for ADM and my life as a whole, my life as an artist, as a creator. I want to make ADM the core of my artistic expression, of just me as an individual. And I don't want it to be limited to anything, not just house and techno music, putting it out there, but videos like these, videos where I'm just sharing what inspires me. That's really all that I aspire to do as an artist, is to inspire whoever cares to tune in. What success means to me as an artist is to inspire one person, not anyone in particular, just if my art can touch just one individual, make them feel something, then that's success to me as an artist. The whole reason I'm doing this, making this video, and the whole reason that I will put out the music that I have, that I've been working on, that I love so much, the reason that I will put it out is to inspire, is for others to enjoy. I want to share this beauty with others. So, where will I go from here? As an artist, as ADM, as Aaron Miller, I intend on releasing the music that I've been sitting on for years. I intend on making more videos, such as this one, about whatever I'm inspired to do. I've had all sorts of ideas for videos, like production videos, or like videos where I challenge myself to make a song with various limitations, like only using one instrument or 3 instruments or something. I don't know, just random stuff like that, just for fun, just because it's something I enjoy doing. I want to do this as much as I can in my life, which, working full-time, it makes it very difficult to find time to do all of this stuff, because making videos, making music, releasing it, doing all this stuff, it takes so much time. And time as a resource in the adult world is very finite. So I want to do this as much as I can, but I'm not going to make it the center of gravity of my life, because ultimately the center of gravity of my life is my spiritual development. This is only an aspect of my life. This is not my life. So I'm not going to sacrifice my life to try and make a career out of this. I'm going to put as much into this as I can, because this is what I love to do. I love to make music, even making videos like this. This is what I love, and I want to do it as much as I can. But it's just that reality of how much time do I actually have in order to put into it. It's very limited. So I'm not going to be putting out music every so-and-so weeks, so-and-so months, or same with videos. I'm not going to assign a number or a time to it. I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. I think that is something that affects us a lot as artists, is this pressure we put on ourselves to get things done within a certain time frame, or like, oh, I have to stay relevant, so I have to post something on social media. And it's like, are you really doing it for the sake of true artistic expression, or are you doing it just to stay relevant? Or are you doing it just to hold up your status, to maintain a polished mask that you'll present to the world? I don't care about how I present to the world. I don't care about my status or my followers. I don't care about making this a career. It would be really nice if I could make my living doing this, because this is what I love. That would allow me to make more videos, make more music, and do more with it. But that's not my goal. That's not my definition of success. My definition of success is what I stated earlier, is to inspire, even if it's just one person. I feel like this video is going all over the place. I wrote a script out for this. I've been trying to make this video for months at this point, probably over a year. I wrote a script out and everything. I was going to follow it to a T and like read every line and like do all that, but it felt too robotic, too prepared. I want to capture this authenticity. I want to capture my integrity, my honesty, my real self, coming straight from the source, not words on a screen. So yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I have so much more to share with you guys. So much music, so much music, so much music. I cannot wait to share what I have in store with you. I cannot wait to put this video out. I can't wait to make more videos and share them with you. And just to share myself as a person with the world, with you. Even if there's only one viewer, even if it's only my mom. That's good enough for me. So yeah, I don't know how to end videos, so yeah. I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk. I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk.